Hi, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my experience dating a married guy. It started out so great, but within 6 months it was a train wreck and we broke up in a very disagreeable way. I'm going to tell you what to watch out for, how he suckered me in, and what happened exactly. So pull up a chair and this will be quick. I hope you learn from it and learn from my mistakes. Enjoy. This is the guy's profile on Silver Singles is the name of the website. It caters to people that are 65 years old and older. This guy's a real cutie for somebody 65 years old. You can see how he gets a lot of hits. And if you look on the right hand side, this is from his description, which he had written, and I've highlighted it. He's very optimistic, but he specifically says, after my separation from a 30+ year relationship, I feel rejuvenated after releasing the stress of a struggling marriage. Now, that pretty strongly implies that he's separated or divorced, but he's actually neither. So he's got that in there, and you read it and give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he's divorced. But he was just as married can be. So it's one of the things you kind of have to watch out for is their marital status. And during our first date, when we first met, I asked him what his marital status was. And he said he was separated, working on getting divorced. And I said, oh, okay. And so I took him at his word, which was a mistake. And after about a month went by, I hadn't heard anything about papers being filed or any progress. So I said, hey, how's your divorce coming along? And he said, oh, we're talking about financial issues. And I went along with that. He's 65 years old. He's probably got a retirement, probably have a house, probably have a bunch of assets that have to be dealt with. So I took him at his word and assumed that things were clipping along. And then 2 months later, I hadn't heard anything again. And so I said, hey, Scott, how's your divorce coming along? And he looked me straight in the eye and he said, I will never break up my family unit. Loosely interpreted, I will never get divorced. By then, I had unfortunately fallen in love with him, and breaking away from him was extremely difficult. But he had lied all the way down the road. He had been cheating on his wife for years, if not decades, by finding gullible people like myself on dating sites that assume that people that are on dating sites are actually single when frequently they're not. And Silver Singles doesn't specifically ask your marital status, although the other ones like Zeus and some of the other ones ask if you're divorced, widowed, separated, or single. So the other ones ask you point blank, but this was the only clue that I had that he was breaking up after a 30+ year relationship and he felt rejuvenated. So I kind of read into it a little more than I should have. So be careful of that.
But at the beginning of it all, he really suckered me in with talk about how his wife didn't understand him and how difficult his relationship was and this, that, and the other. But in retrospect, it's his wife I feel sorry for because he's been cheating on her for years. So he suckered me along with, oh, my wife doesn't understand me and oh, woe is me and all the rest of that. Don't fall for that. It's lies. Don't fall for it. The odds were against me from the very beginning. I should have seen it. And another problem, we met in October and we started dating in earnest in November and December. In November, he didn't spend any of the holidays with me, Thanksgiving or the day before or after. He spent the whole 4-day weekend with his family, with his wife and his daughter. And then Christmas, he did the same thing. He spent the whole 4-day Christmas vacation with his family, emphasis being his family. New Year's Eve, he spent with them. Every single major holiday he spent with his wife and daughter. And then when it got to be Valentine's Day, he said, are you expecting me to do anything for Valentine's Day? And at the time, I was trying to be low maintenance, so I said, don't worry about it. I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. So he did nothing. He didn't even send me a text saying Happy Valentine's Day. He did absolutely nothing for Valentine's Day, and that all should have been red flags. He had no interest in me when he was spending all of his time with this woman that he's supposedly dating, or divorcing, I mean. And it was just one thing after another, and it broke my heart and hurt me badly. And I hope you learn from my mistake. If you see these warning signs with guys, get rid of them as fast as you can. Block them, don't talk to them, and find somebody you can build a real relationship with. So that's my story. I hope it's helpful. There is no future in dating a married guy. I have a couple other stories of dating guys that I got involved with who blatantly lied and told me they were single. I'll give you a quick heads up on one. This one guy I met had widowed down. He told me his wife had died a year earlier, right after Thanksgiving, which I assumed to mean he was single. But what he failed to mention was the following February he had gotten remarried to somebody else, and he was just as married can be. So be careful when you're dating. It's terrible out there. I hope the best for you. I hope you don't get hurt as badly as I did. Thanks for watching.